Welcome, you hot flashing world changing women. We're so glad you're here. We appreciate you taking out some of your precious time and spending it with us. We know everybody's time is precious, and we are honored that you have chosen to spend some of that precious time here. So, welcome here. I am Teresa Lysam, and this is my delightful friend and business partner,
Hello,
Diane
hello.
Amelia Reed.
Welcome. Glad you're all here. Thanks for watching.
So, this recording, this masterclass is for you if you're an overwhelmed career woman or an entrepreneur, a solopreneur juggling business, home, and midlife transitions while trying to align your physical wellness with your personal and your professional goals.
Yeah, we know you want to lead, you want to grow, you want to enjoy living your big dreams with balance and energy. And maybe you're a woman at midlife or beyond yearning to step into your next chapter with clarity, with vitality, and with a custom wellness plan that dovetails seamlessly with your big life.
Yeah, and you think you don't have enough time for self care or
Yeah.
even know if it's possible. So we're here to expand that perspective, offer you some mindset shifts, and really open you up to what is possible and give you some actionable tips that you can go away from this masterclass with.
Yeah, and we we wish for you no pressure in your being here. We just want you to enjoy clarity, strategy, and some heart.
hmm So, a little bit about us, in case you don't know us. As I said, I'm Teresa Lysam, and I am a superpower coach. I really help women navigate their own personal life transitions with confidence. Years ago, I was an educator in a public school system, just thriving in a role that I loved. And all of a sudden, I was suddenly yanked from that and placed in a new position, and that just left me feeling disconnected and burned out and frustrated and all those negative feelings. And around about that same time, I was facing some emotional and physical challenges or changes because of midlife and where I was at that point in my time. And I just knew something had to shift. I knew I had to pull myself out of that funk, as I called it back then. So that really started me on a journey of rediscovering who I was through a series of self care practices, one being Tai Chi Cha, and another being essential oils, which I use every day, multiple times a day. And ultimately, I was led to the Clifton Strengths Assessment, fell in love with the whole strengths concept, and that really helped me feel my value and my worth and really helped me start aligning my life in a more enriched way. And just getting to know my strengths really helped me see my value and what was right with my own self and helped me create a new life based on that foundation. And now I've teamed up with my amazing friend Diane Amelia Reed here to create a 3-month program where we combine our expertise, our mindset, we combine movement, we combine the strengths concept to help you build your own personalized wellness plan that actually fits you and who you are and where you are in your life. Because when you understand your unique superpowers, wellness stops feeling like a checklist and starts becoming a way of life.
Yeah. And I'm Diane Amelia Reed. Now I live in Mexico, truly living my best life. But about 7 years ago, I had a moment. I was struggling with a zipper on a dress that used to fit perfectly. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't just wrestling the too tight dress, it was the voices in my head. There was a critical one left over from my 16 years of disordered eating, and there was a judgy one telling me I was useless, past my prime. I was staring down an aging body and a threadbare financial future, and I just felt myself fading, shrinking physically, emotionally, financially. But my turnaround happened to come when I met a woman who was thriving exactly at the intersection of where my needs met. She was merging health with wealth through her business. Now, she was 20 years younger than I am, but with a crazy twist of desperation and hope, I thought, why not me? And that question changed everything. I dove into learning about real self care, not punishment or perfectionism, but support, alignment, very new for me. Now, today, I know that even the most far-fetched dreams, like like moving to Mexico was for me, they can become real. And every time I help a woman build a wellness plan that fits her, it feels like I'm part of something bigger, like part of a movement of women striving toward their authenticity, toward their full
Mhm.
expression of their big, beautiful lives. And Teresa and I are honored to walk beside
Mhm.
each woman
Yep.
who's ready to rise into her next chapter.
Yeah, I love that word authenticity. That
Mm.
is just resonates so much with me. So we do want to acknowledge the season that you are in, you personally, if you're in premenopause, postmenopause, identity shifts because of whatever's happening in your business, your career, if you have a professional intensity, if you're a sandwich generation, wherever you're at in this phase of your life at this moment in time, we see you and we honor you.
Yeah, it can be a lot, but self-care success within it is possible. I'm thinking of one client who just did not believe she had enough time for consistent, scheduled self-care. She'd tried another program, that was a disappointment, but hope and feeling tired of feeling tired finally made her try again. And because she co-wrote her wellness plan with us, it was a
Mhm.
match, and she's still with it.
Yeah, and congratulations to her. We certainly celebrate her for that.
So these are some of the things you will take away from our time together today. An understanding of factors keeping women in overwhelm and burnout, a technique for calming and resetting your central nervous system called pause.
A strategy
Yeah.
for reframing your negative self talk, an alternative to doubling down on willpower in order to keep all the plates spinning. And we're here to remind you to love yourself first.
Love yourself first. Now, normally we want to set a safe container for those who share, but right now it's just Teresa and me together. One of the things we always invite is to keep a learner mind, to keep an open mind for new possibilities, to hear things maybe you hadn't heard or hadn't heard quite in that way before, and to keep this, as you watch, a judgment-free zone. And that
Mm,
includes judgment of yourself. Super
right,
important.
right.
So
We can
I'm
fall
raising
into
my
that.
hand to agree.
Yeah, for sure. We can fall into that. I can fall into that so easily,
Mm.
so easily. So, no judging of yourself. So, I'm going to ask you, what is your vision for your life with self care woven in? What would that look like? What would that feel like if you had consistent self care? And even though you were still wearing all the hats, you weren't in overwhelm. And I have,
Yeah, there are-
yeah, we have listed out a few statistics there you're welcome to take a look at.
yeah, and one that really pops out, especially for me as someone, well, Teresa, I know you exercise regularly as well,
Mhm.
but it is a backbone in my business. And regular exercise has been linked to positive health outcomes. And with women exercising regularly, reporting feeling 52% happier, 48% more confident, and 50% more energized.
Mhm.
So those statistics have some weight. It's
Yeah.
good to
And
get
even
moving again.
I just want to pull out one from above that. If women engage in self-care, they can really enhance their mental and emotional well-being. And 56% of women felt that way. I thought that was big.
Yeah, that is big. Now, the flip side, of course, is not doing that. And
Mhm.
we want to talk a little bit about what gets in the way. What gets in the way between you and consistent self-care? And this was a new phrase for us, but it really resonates, and that is time poverty. 40% of women over 50 are primary caregivers for either children or aging parents, and often both. And this impacts their time, their mental energy, their focus on business operations, on life operations. That's that's big.
That is big. And so there's that pressure, there's the mental health pressure, and 1 in 4 women solopreneurs report feeling chronic burnout due to all this juggling, the juggling of all the hats again, and the isolation and the decision fatigue. So just think for yourself in this moment what's in your way, keeping you from that self care piece.
And I was pausing just there, thinking selfishly about myself, and sometimes what gets in the way, even though I have a regular practice, is the chatter in my head. So we'll
Yep.
talk about
Yep.
that in a little bit, but
Yep.
let's let's have a look at the cost of neglecting self-care. And like Teresa said earlier, it comes with dollars attached.
hmm
Burnout can equal loss of income. Chronic stress and burnout can wipe out weeks of productivity, and it costs workers, women, solopreneurs, career women, 5,000 to more than $25,000 a year just
Yeah.
in loss of income. Pile onto that higher medical bills because stress
hmm
related issues like insomnia, digestive issues, inflammation, um, that's more than $3,600 in extra yearly health costs. So when you've got your income going down and your expenses going up, that is a financial price to pay for neglecting self-care.
And it will catch up to you. It will catch up to you. There's a lot here to look at, but I want to pick out the no boundaries equal no balance. So if you have no personal boundaries, then your time just gets hijacked. We all know how that goes. Like, where did the afternoon go? Like, like that has happened to me multiple times. So that could really lead you to feeling resentful and cause some decision fatigue, where you're making decisions to put out those fires all the time. That's very draining.
Yeah, and doing it on the fly.
Yeah, yeah. I know that as an educator, that was something I was doing all the time, all day long.
Mm,
So
yeah,
I'm definitely
and
well aware of that.
that can actually add to, provide or create an emotional drain. And there goes your joy, your
hmm
creativity, your
Yeah.
playtime, and really dims the lifeblood of that thing that we all strive for, which is having joy in our lives.
For sure. So don't think of yourself as a slacker if these sound familiar to you. You're just out of sync with what you really need.
Yeah. But you're in the right place watching this right
Yes,
now.
you are.
If you're feeling as though you don't have enough time in your daily life for self-care, like exercise, healthy meal prep, meditation, that everyone and everything else comes first, and you're feeling the accumulation of self-care delayed, or maybe that's in the form of stress, disrupted sleep, relentless hot flashes, baseline anxiety, digestive disorders, anger, it's all in there. So
hmm
please raise your mental hand if you're ready to
'Cause-
stop wearing burnout like a badge of honor. And this, yes, both hands here.
yeah, right.
And one of the things Teresa and I laugh about is when women argue their way to the bottom. Hey, Teresa, I had to work 14 hours yesterday.
Yeah, well, I did 17 and I had the grandkids here on top of that.
It's worse for me. It's worse for me.
You ran out of water, huh?
Yeah. And I had the flu the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. And I had a broken leg and I had to walk uphill both ways to get here.
Yeah.
But we
Stop wearing
do
burnout
that.
like a badge of honor.
I know it's hysterical how we do that.
Give yourself permission to rest without guilt. You know what? You owe an explanation to no one.
Mhm. And if you're ready to align your energy with your goals and feel energized instead of drained.
Yeah. Reclaim your power, your time, your joy, and live with freedom, live with intention.
Okay. Let
So, yeah, go. We want to talk about some myths. And
yes,
women, we are breathing in invisible vapors all the time. These are vapors of expectations placed on women. These are vapors of societal norms that, for reasons we don't understand, we try to align with. And so we want you to know your well-being is not a luxury, it's a strategy.
the strategy. Yes, it's a proactive strategy. So here's those three myths. So
Yeah.
I'm inviting you to look at them all. We're going to go into each one of these.
Yeah.
But
There'll be a quiz later.
yeah, there will be. So, and I've heard this and see if this resonates with you. But if I slow down, then I'll just get behind and I'll never be able to catch up.
Yeah. But growth actually accelerates when you pause to align. Alignment is going to win over hustle in the long game every time.
Yeah, and the pace you're pushing yourself at is just not sustainable. Yes, you can survive it, and we've all done that, but it's not sustainable. And there is definitely a big difference between those two.
Yeah, slowing down gives your body and your brain space to recover and to refocus. So when you slow down, you're strategic. This is not you running in retreat. This is you recovering and refocusing.
Yeah, it's not a detour from your success. It's actually the fuel that makes the whole success engine go.
Exactly. And then of course we just have to ask the question, when you say if I slow down, I'll fall behind whom? Who? Who? The only timeline that matters is your sustainable one.
And the one that you create.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and look at that myth number two.
Well, that's a
It's
doozy.
it tells us everyone depends on me, so and I don't have time for self-care.
Yeah. Yeah. Tough love here, my friend. You cannot support others well from a depleted place. In fact, your wellness is a service to them too.
Yeah. And you may argue this, but martyrdom is not a leadership style. It's actually a fast track to resentment and more burnout.
Yeah. And when you take a minute to think about it, time isn't the issue. Prioritization is. Even 5 minutes of intentional care shifts everything, shifts your energy. Close your eyes for 10 seconds and reopen them. And that was 10 seconds. You'll notice a shift.
Yeah, that is so true. And know that your worth isn't tied to how much you carry or how fast paced you are, how busy you are. So it's okay. And we're going to repeat that again. It's okay to put some things down, even for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is powerful. When you model real self care, You give others permission to do the same. You tacitly give others permission to take care of themselves.
Hmm.
And that's legacy work.
Yeah, yeah.
And think about it, the eyes looking at you, it could be littles, children,
Hmm.
grandchildren, nieces, nephews.
Yeah,
It could be your neighbors. It could be your bestie. It could be folks in your community, other women. When you model self-care by taking care of yourself, you are opening the door for others to do the same.
yes, yes, for sure. Leading by example is huge. So self-care is indulgent, it's not strategic. Like that's a myth that we're going to bust right here and now.
Crack it open.
So self-care is not all bubble baths and massages that you only get once or twice a year. And if you're lucky, you might get some time alone in the bathtub. Like that's what a lot of people think self-care is. And it's way more than that. I mean, that's great, but that is an indulgent that's just temporary. It's, just for a short period of time. Whereas if you use it, self-care as a strategy or strategically plan your self-care, that is way more sustainable. And it just prevents that crisis mode, when you're dealing with things that are happening in the moment, that's going to prevent that later down the road.
That's right. And, when you think about baking it into the plan, baking self-care in, athletes don't skip recovery days. It's part of the plan. They push, they rest. High-performing women shouldn't skip recovery days either.
Yeah, that really resonates with me. Something to really remind myself about. So there's nothing indulgent about doing what it takes not to burn out.
Yeah.
It's just being wise and smart.
Yeah. And when wellness is intentional, your work and relationships thrive. And that's not luxury, that's leadership.
Mhm. So strategic self-care is intentional, it's holistic, it's effective, and it includes multiple things: exercise, healthy eating, mindfulness practices such as meditation. But it also can include other things such as boundary setting, nervous system care, and energy alignment.
Yeah. So here comes that pop quiz. Myth number one, myth number two, myth number three. Think about which one resonates most with you.
Mhm.
That's the quiz. Just a moment to reflect. Which one, and maybe it's all of them. You can even say A and B, B and C, A and C, or all of the above, but take a moment to reflect. Because willpower and hustle is not going to get you there. The idea, if I just push harder, yeah,
Mhm.
that goes nowhere.
Yeah, just one of those myths that we've been fed
Yeah, it's
as
really,
women.
yeah, it's about alignment, nervous system care, and personalization that will help you be strong for the long haul.
Yeah. So in our Wellness Your Way workshop, we teach how to shift that punitive perspective of self-discipline, like, gotta go to the principal's office. And we're shifting that to more of a self-love, self-care, self-compassion way of thinking.
Yeah, but and that works and it works well, but if you need to get there quick, nervous system care. And we have
Hmm.
a technique called pause that Teresa's going to introduce.
Yeah, and nervous system care was not in my vocabulary for a long, long time. Literally just in the last year or two that I have come to really have an awareness around this and have learned that it's really, really important and essential. So we're going to go ahead and take a pause right now. So we're going to invite you to join us.
Mm,
And I'm going to invite you to soften your eyes or close your eyes and just place your attention on your heart, on your breathing. If you want to put your hand or two on your heart, you're more than welcome to do that. And this is your invitation to just slow down. Slow down and just pause. To step out of the rush, off the hamster wheel, and into your heart. Knowing that you don't have to fix anything right now, you don't have to figure anything out. You just get to be here right now with yourself and your breath and your heart. So, with our attention on our heart, just really focus there as you breathe in a nice slow breath and exhale, a nice slow full exhale with your attention on that heart center. And with the next inhale, I'm going to invite you to just gently and just be open to receive whatever you need right now in this moment, whether that be peace, love, self compassion, whatever you need, allow it to arrive into your mind or into your heart. I'm going to invite you to inhale again. And as you inhale, just kind of tighten up a little bit. And then on the exhale, I'm going to invite you to let it all go. Just let everything drop, your chin, your jaw, your shoulders, your arms. Let everything go. Just roll off down your arms, down your feet. Sink into the ground. Let your breath carry it all away. Then let's inhale again, nice and deep. And when you exhale, I'm going to invite you to really sink into safety,
Mm.
feeling that ground beneath you or that seat below you, the body that is holding your energy. Just know that you're safe and you're supported right here, right now. Then one final breath in. And as you exhale, feel yourself fully in this present moment, grounded, open, present.
Mm.
And when you're ready, you're welcome to flutter your eyes open with a little smile on your face.
And Teresa, I set a timer when we started, and that was about 3 minutes and 15
Mm,
seconds. And I feel like I am transformed. So self-care can literally be a 3.5 minute exercise.
mm-hmm.
You can
At any
factor that
point.
type of thing in
Yeah.
into any busy day.
Yes. And even if you don't know the pause steps, just taking the time to stop and breathe. If you can step outside and breathe and just allow yourself to come into the present moment. Yeah, that is huge, a huge shift.
Now,
Multiple times a
sometimes,
day. You can do it multiple
yeah,
times a day. It
yeah,
just doesn't have to be once.
exactly. Yeah, there's no limit. There's no limit.
Mm-hmm. No
But
limit.
what is limiting sometimes is the chatter in our head that says, I don't have 3 minutes. I don't have 3 minutes. And that is what I call stinking thinking. I've been completely guilty of it. And this is a perfect segue into this section we're moving into, which is about rewiring some of that inner dialogue, those sabotaging thoughts that keep you away from a 3 minute
Mm-hmm.
self refilling exercise. So let's talk about flip the script. And The first thing that is required is noticing.
Mhm.
Start to notice, even if you don't do anything about it, just start to notice what messages are on repeat in your head. What are you telling yourself? And is that thing you're telling yourself keeping you stuck in place, or is it moving you forward? Now, the important thing here is no judgment. Don't
Mhm.
judge this thought. These are all parts of you. Don't push them away. Don't
Mhm.
judge them. Just notice. And then we invite you to start reframing. So here's an example, and it's a good one because we're going to give you not only the example, but the thinking below the surface that makes this sentence,
Mhm.
this idea stick. And it's, I don't have time. Now, underneath that, I don't have time, the message is, my needs come last. I don't have time is another way of saying I'm choosing to deprioritize myself because everything else is more important. My needs come last.
Yeah.
So, what do we do? When I make time for myself, everything gets better. That is a way to flip the script on that sentence. I don't have time. My needs come last. Flip the script. When I make time for myself, everything else gets better.
Mhm. And you can use your own words. This is just one way of flipping that script.
Yeah.
But like you said, Diane Amelia, it's the awareness and the noticing that allows you to be able to flip that script into something more positive and more life affirming.
Yeah. And I
So,
think, go
please go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, you go.
Well, just that understanding, and we've got several of these to share, understanding what the underlying message is really helps kind of kickstart a wish because my needs come last. I do not want to
Yeah.
think that. But
Right,
now that I am
right.
aware, it's like, oh, I need to make the time. So
Hmm.
another one that we have heard, I've tried this before, it doesn't work for me. The message under that, I'm not capable of change. I'm not capable of lasting change. I can do it for a while, but really I can't change. So a way to reframe that, every attempt was a lesson, not a failure.
Hmm. Hmm.
This time I have more wisdom and I don't have to do it alone. I've
Yeah.
tried this before, says I'm not capable.
I know I've told myself that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Oh God, I know.
yeah.
What do you got? What is
So
there one
I
you
one that I've heard, and I'm sure I've thought myself as well, is I should be able to figure this out on my own. I'm
yeah.
an independent woman. I'm smart. I can figure this out. I just got to go do more research and learn more things and
Yeah,
get more
learn more
training.
things.
So, yeah, I've been there, done that a lot.
Yeah.
And that underlying message or belief is that asking for help means that I'm weak. That is just not a life supporting belief, is it?
No.
So, a way to flip that would be there's strength in seeking support, and wisdom is not just doing it alone. It's wise to get some support, and it's knowing when to link arms with other people.
You
No
know,
shame in that.
no, we want to be strong women. And so we think, I can do this on my own. When in
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
sometimes, like you and I have learned, one plus one equals three. And when you
Hmm,
get
for
support,
sure.
you're expanded. You're not weak. You're better.
Yes, definitely better. I
So
definitely find that about myself.
one that speaks to me too, spending on myself feels irresponsible, or I feel guilty for spending on myself. Now, the underlying message here that is a fast track to overwhelm and burnout, I need to earn my care by overgiving. I need to just, I'll give and give and give, and then I can have care. It's my reward after
Yeah.
pushing myself to the limit. Spending on myself I feel guilty for spending on myself. However,
Hmm.
if you flip that to investing in my well-being is the most responsible thing I can do for myself and everyone who depends on me, that is a much more accurate reflection of what's going to help you and everyone around you. Investing in my well-being is the most responsible thing you can do.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a big flip for sure. And I don't know about you, Diane Amelia, but I'm like when I'm hearing these, I am thinking of myself as well.
Yeah.
So we're offering them here for everybody listening, but I'm talking to myself too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we need reminders as well.
Sure.
It's
Sure.
easy to slip backwards. So it's not a one and done deal. It's an ongoing practice of all of these being able to flip these switches, these scripts.
Yeah. It's funny, a fitness coach that I work with recently said, I can teach this as I'm learning.
Mm.
And it's a
Hmm.
good reminder that we are all in in progress. We are all works in progress.
Yes,
We're
yes,
just
we
at
are
different
work.
points in our journey.
Yes, I love that. We are works in progress. Speaking of progress, where would you like to be a year from now in terms of your wellness and your self-care practices and your uh, being in a better place mentally? So I'm going to invite you to envision, imagine how you want to be, how you want to feel a year from now.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're taking a holistic approach. You're tending your body, your mind, your spirit. What's that going to look like for you? And
Mm.
as world changers, how can you add these new tools and self-care practices into your routine?
Mm. So some things that you might want to envision your life feeling like or looking like is you just have a more grounded confidence about yourself.
Yeah.
You just walk into rooms, into a Zoom call, in with a client, and you just know your worth. You don't need any external validation. You feel really good about yourself.
Yeah. Prioritizing self-care. Um, Obviously, you're going to have sustained energy. So you're not dragging through your days, but you're actually present and productive in a way that feels really good. And that can lead to
Mm,
creative flow. So your best ideas don't get buried under burnout or fatigue. You've got space to imagine and innovate and to enjoy the process instead of stressing out.
mm. And everything we do is all about joy and happiness when it really comes right down to it. And just being able to handle life's curveballs as they come at you and without, blowing up or snapping or shutting down and hiding. So you'll be very emotional resilience. I mean, another thing we all strive for.
Yeah, prioritizing consistent self-care fosters an inner calm. So your default isn't Russian worry,
Yeah.
not Russian, rush and worry. Calm clarity, even when the pressure is on, and and you have boundaries. You're able to say no guilt-free to the things that drain you, and yes to the things that fuel you. And I
Hmm.
love two little thoughts on this. One is the idea, and your gut knows when someone says, "Hey, can you blah blah blah?" It's if it's like, "Oh, hell yeah, I'm in." And if it's not that, it's no, no, thank you. And if you don't have the language or don't feel comfortable with just no as a full sentence, you could say, "Oh, I'd love to, but I just can't." And that's a softball way of saying no, full stop, full
Yeah.
sentence, no.
Love that. Absolutely love that. So this is a quote from one of our clients. She really learned to change her critical inner voice. And she really started flipping her switches and practicing more positive, empowering self talk.
And I think it's important to say that Teresa and I get so happy at this kind of feedback
Mm-hmm.
because we see women stepping into their authenticity in a way that they didn't even realize maybe they could. And
Right.
it's it's so fun.
It's so fun. So fun when that transformation takes place and women can, like you said, step into their own and go into the future with a sustainable plan that they can tweak and hone and evolve over time. So we're going to go ahead and review, do a quick recap of what we've all covered here in this short period of time together.
Yeah, we started with asking you to vision what you'd like to see in a year from now, with your life flowing with ease and self-care just built into the fabric. And we looked too at some of the obstacles that come up and the cost of skipping self-care.
hmm So we've hopefully learned that self-care is a necessary component to your overall success. It's not just an add-on or something extra. And learning that your central nervous system is something that we want to keep at a high level and really purring. And maybe you've never heard or thought about your central nervous system before. Hopefully, we brought that to your awareness. And just noticing your limiting thoughts, having an awareness around those, and being able to reframe them without any judgment.
Yeah. These things are important aspects of self-care, and the work that we do, Teresa and I, with clients, goes beyond simple wellness tips. We're very proud and happy about what we do, and we want to fill you in on our 12-week program, Wellness Your Way, where self-care meets strategy for a sustainable custom plan in 90 days. We provide strategic, personalized self-care that aligns with a woman's lifestyle and her responsibilities. And you get two mentors, not just one,
Two,
but
two for the price
two
of one.
mentors to provide guidance and structure and support and everything you need to reinvent self-care and then maintain it for
hmm
life so that you
Yeah.
have lasting vitality, lasting fulfillment.
hmm So by the end of this 3-month program that we have put together for you, you'll be focused on your unique life and wellness needs. You can expect to go from learning to integrating to taking ownership of your customized wellness based lifestyle, complete with a command of your unique personal strengths that you can use and leverage in all areas of your life. And you'll learn to really leverage them, be consistent with your exercise, develop an uncomplicated relationship with food, and a hopeful mindset.
Yeah. So just to put a period at the end of that sentence, we'd love to share a story about one of our clients. Lisa is a college professor, balancing roles as a daughter, a mother, a wife, and definitely in that sandwich generation as a caregiver,
hmm
older, younger. Um, she often felt overwhelmed and could not see a path to prioritizing her self-care. But through our work together, we identified her, and I love that Teresa calls them superpowers. We identified her unique superpowers and created a personalized wellness plan that fits seamlessly into her busy life. And we provided her, as she got started, with accountability and helped her reframe how she spoke about herself, how she spoke about her responsibilities. And the transformation was incredible. Lisa not only stuck to her plan, but she experienced renewed energy, got back to things she'd set aside, had a calmer mindset and a shift in how she perceived her time. And almost a year later, she's still at it.
Even with interruptions, I might add. She had a few life interruptions, but she was able to get back into her plan
Yeah.
and continue forward with it. So let's take a look at some of the things that you will get in this 3-month Wellness Your Way customized plan program. We already said you get 2 coaches for the price of one that will work with you every week for 3 months to help you get set up, keep you supported as you transition from learning to integrating to owning your own customized wellness plan and way of life.
You get one-on-one session, oh, a one-on Hmm. You get a one-on-one session with Teresa to tweeze out your superpowers and
Mhm.
learn with her how to use them. A one-on-one with me as we create your exercise and nutrition plan. There are weekly teaching sessions. There's daily motivation and accountability in our online community. And you also get an annual membership in our wellness platform, a detailed strengths assessment, and a whole bunch more,
A whole bunch more.
including these benefits, more
Yes.
bandwidth for what matters to you. And
And leveraging that knowledge and understanding of your unique innate superpowers, and of course, more self care time.
yeah, yeah, you get an easy, sustainable routine that dovetails with your life in part because you've helped co-create it.
Yeah. And more strength, more stamina at your work, at your business, in your life.
Yeah, and strength, don't be surprised if you see your biceps, you know. There's a woman who was brushing her teeth and she's like, "Oh, I noticed my muscle." It's a very exciting moment.
And of course, you'll feel less guilt
Yeah.
and you won't be grinding and striving. You'll have more ease.
Yeah, it's all about living with ease.
Yes.
That's that's our bottom line. Healthy
Mhm.
and with ease. Now, normally the investment for the powerful benefits you get from working with 2 coaches for 3 months is $3,600. But for anyone who registers for this masterclass, the investment for you for the next 24 hours is half that, $1,800. And the workshop starts on June 12th.
Mhm. Now, if there is a problem with being able to pay that right up front, we do have a payment plan that we'll work with you on.
That's
And
right.
yeah, so we understand we've both been there when it all comes to, making that choice and that decision whether to invest a chunk of money into that, into whatever it is especially in this program. We want to make sure we understand your concerns about money and time.
Yeah. It's time is really your most precious resource. Money you can make more of, but time you cannot. And so we understand it's an important decision how you want to invest yours.
Hmm.
But doing so really, really pays you back with long-term dividends. So you can stop wearing burnout like a badge of honor and finally give yourself self-care and rest without guilt.
Yeah, so you can align your energy with your goals. So you
Mhm.
can feel energized instead of drained. So you
Yeah,
can reclaim your power, your time, and your joy and live with intention and freedom, that sense of freedom.
that is so good. And we just invite you to imagine what it would feel like to have more energy, more vitality, and to simply feel strong and healthy in your skin without giving up your current responsibilities or feeling guilty. Together, we can make that happen efficiently and effectively.
Yes, we certainly can. So, how would you feel with these results by September 1st?
Yeah. You reclaim your energy and vitality so you can show up fully for your life, for your work, for yourself.
Shift your inner dialogue from self-sacrifice to self-support.
Yeah, so you can make choices from love, not from guilt.
Hmm. And
And
build, I would say,
yeah,
build a sustainable exercise routine so that you can feel strong and capable and energized no matter what your age.
it feels good to feel strong. I'm
Hmm. Certainly
I
does.
am 7 years in. You beat me by ages in terms of your consistency, but
Hmm.
I've been at it for 7 years. I feel strong and it feels good.
Hmm. Yes, it's
And
um,
something that's important to me also, you can enjoy an uncomplicated relationship with food.
hmm. Yeah,
So you can nourish your body without stress, without guilt or shame. I love helping women make that transition.
that's huge. Absolutely huge. And of course, you'll be supported. You'll be in a community of heart-centered, like-minded women who will see you, support you, inspire you, and hold you accountable.
And be inspired by you.
Yes, for sure. Because we're on a
So
learning path as well. So we love
each
learning
and
from
every
other
one.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. So whether or not Wellness Your Way is right for you right now, we invite you to a complimentary strategic self-care one-on-one session with either one of us. We'll tackle a primary self-care challenge you're experiencing and design a customized mini plan. This session will be 20 or 30 minutes and will help determine if continuing to work together is the right fit. So again, during this free strategic self-care one-on-one session, we'll assess your biggest challenges and lay out a mini plan tailored just for you. And if we both feel like it's a fit to continue this journey together, we're committed to guiding you every step of the way. And if not, that's okay. We're still friends.
We're still friends. We are still friends. Now we're going to attach our links for those strategic one-on-one sessions with this recording. So it will be in with this uh, email that you're getting.
Mm.
So look for that. You'll be able to click on either one. Doesn't matter to us which person you choose, whoever resonates with you would be fine. And we'll hook you up. We'll make sure we can answer any questions that you might have. But we're really confident that our Wellness Your Way program can transform your life over 3 months and help you experience vitality and hope and a wellness plan that you can trust and adapt and evolve for life.
Yeah. I think it's important to mention that we limit the program to 8 participants to ensure everyone benefits from a high-touch experience for true lasting transformation.
Yes. So if this resonates with you and you feel excited and you're ready, click on those links right now and let us know your thoughts and you're ready to begin. And like I said, we will hook you up. And if you have any questions, we'll help you with that as well. We'll
That's right.
talk through those questions. We'll tackle your challenges and again, help you design a customized mini plan that you can take away from that session. And if you decide it's not a good fit for you, again, we'll still part ways as friends.
Absolutely. So if you have questions, we've covered a lot here about tools for you to use, take away and use. We've talked about Wellness Your Way. Schedule your one-on-one session with either Teresa or me, and we will pick it up with the rest of your questions.
Hmm. We so look forward to chatting with you. Uh,
But one of the
so
things we
take
really
that
want to say
action
is,
now.
yeah, take that action now and know that we are so grateful for your time and attention
Yes.
and pressing play on this video.
Yes. And a quote that we want to share with you before we part ways. The first step isn't always loud, but it's always life changing.
Mm,
We invite you to start small, start scared, but just start.
just start. Just
Just
start.
start.
And you can
That,
start by scheduling your one-on-one session.
yes, for sure. Just starting is a huge, huge step in the right direction for your own self care. and your future self.
Yeah, your future self will thank you.
For sure. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Diane Amelia.
Thank you,
We
Teresa, and
loved
everyone.
having you here, and we look forward to talking privately in our sessions, our one-on-one sessions.
Absolutely. Bye for now.
Bye.